Dear students, in the previous class we were talking about different statistical distributions, mainly Bernal binomial distribution. Then later we had a discussion on Poisson's distribution. Now today we are going to talk about what is meant by a queuing system, what are the different components of a queuing system, and how you are going to represent this queuing system in a statistical way. So if you look at this particular diagram, so we have already discussed in the module number one, which talks about different queuing systems and examples for it. So usually when you look at this particular diagram, this is a simple queuing model. So if you look at simulation is often used in the analysis of queuing model. Yes, a simple typical model of a queuing model is shown here. So you have customers arrive from time to time and join the queue. So here mainly I was talking about any type of entity which can be viewed as a requesting service. So which is called as a customer. Anybody who is trying to request for a service is called as the customer. Now here if you look at calling population, so which is like basically contains the number of customers who are waiting to get the service. Okay, that is what the calling population. So here a waiting line of customers. Okay, and here you will have a server. So we'll have a detailed discussion about this. So this is about our simple queuing model. So here the waiting line of customer, basically like if anybody is still getting a service and other people are waiting in a queue for getting a service. Now usually any example you take, service facilities, maybe your bank or hotel or any shop. So that is one example. Production systems, repair and maintenance facilities, your communication systems or communications, and computer systems, transport and material handling systems. Okay, your hospital. Okay, your reservation systems. So all these are all the different queuing models. So if you look at these queuing models are going to provide the powerful tool for designing and evaluating the performance of queuing system. So normally, as I told earlier, if in a bank, when you go to a particular bank, and if you look at the queue, always if there are too many number of people who are waiting in the queue, always, then you cannot say that that is an efficient system. Okay, so that is the performance of that particular system may not be good. So that is where here he is talking about measure of system performance, which includes the server utilization and length of waiting lines and delay of customer. That is what I was talking about. So if the length of waiting line is too high or too long, then the performance of that system is not efficient. Now usually when we talk about any queuing model, so or this particular queuing theory and simulation analysis are used to predict this measure of system performance. So now I will call this R as the server utilization, the length of waiting line and delay of the customers are the different parameters to measure the system performance. So usually these three will predict the measure of system performance for a particular input parameters. So what are input parameters here? As I told earlier, it is arrival rate of customers. That is at which rate the customers are entering into the system. Then the service demands for customers and the rate at which a server works. Okay, so these are all the different types of performance measures. Now if you take this particular example, there are three different key elements of particular queuing models are customers and the different servers. So if you examples, I have taken few examples here. System, customers and related servers. So if you look at reception of a desk, the customers are the people who are coming to inquire. The service provider will be a receptionist. Go to an hospital. As I told earlier in the module number one, it is number of patients will be the number of customers. The number of no, sorry, the nurses and the doctors will be the servers. If you go consider airport as an example, as a system, then your aeroplanes and the will be the customers, and a runway will be the servers. In other way, road network. If you look at cars and the traffic light. So like this, you take any kind of system, there are two important components which are called as customers and servers. Now, so when I was talking about a model in the previous section, there is a calling population, then there is a waiting line, then there is a servers. So now we will see one by one and what it does. The first important point is calling population. So as I told earlier, this is a population of potential customers. That is the number of people who are uh, trying to enter into particular queuing model or into a system. They are called as calling population. So this may be assumed to be a finite and infinite. So best examples I told in the previous module. The finite is say bank, maybe around 10-50 people will come and they will complete their job and go back. This is where the finite. Infinite is like any exhibition center where the people will keep on coming, okay, and they will go and they will go for from exit. So there the number of people who are trying to enter is unlimited, that is infinite. So here one example. Consider a bank of five machines that are curing tires. So there is, there are five different bank of five machines. There's one shop which is of five machines which will cure the tires. So in this example, if you take here, the machines are the customers who will arrive at the instant they automatically open. Okay. Then the worker is the server. The machines are going to be get repaired by the server or the worker. So here the machine will become customers, and the worker is called as a server, who is a server, an open machine who is going to serves and machine as soon as possible. So here the calling population is infinite because finite because they have only five machines. So that is what your calling population is, finite. So infinite, as I told earlier, any number of people who are coming to see a particular exhibition. So that is also, is one of the examples which talks about uh, infinite calling population. Now, uh, after this, we are done with the uh, what we'll call it as system calling population. Then, second important point is system capacity. That is the limit on the number of customers that may be in the waiting line or a waiting system. So you cannot look at, there are two different ways. One is limited capacity and another one is unlimited capacity. So all this discussed in the module number one, but still before I go ahead with the actual representation of queuing models, I need to talk about the what are queuing models and how they are going to be characterized. The limit on the number of customers that may be in the waiting line or a system is called as system capacity. Now, if you look at the first one, which talks here, and if you look at here, it is closed. So that is, an automatic car wash has only room of 10 cars to wait in the line and to enter the mechanism. Okay, so if the system is full, no customers are accepted anymore. So it is as usual case. So then they have to wait. So another one, which is example for unlimited capacity, is a concert ticket sales with a no limit on the number of people allowed to wait to purchase tickets. Okay, so there is no wait. The people, every whoever wants, they can book the tickets. So this is about the second point. It is something called as system capacity. This is very important. As I told earlier, the arrival process. In the module number one, I was talking about system capacity, arrival process, waiting process, okay, service process, and how they are going to arrive. All these will be discussed again in detail. The third important point or third important characteristics is arrival process. If you look at arrival process in for infinite population models is usually characterized by characterized in terms of inter-arrival times of successive customers. I was talking about inter-arrival time is what? The time gap between nth customer to n minus 1, that is n minus 1 the customer to nth customer, that is next current customer to the next customer. So that gap is called as inter-arrival time. So arrivals may occur at scheduled times or at random times. So usually the arrivals for scheduled time and random times. For example, if you take a dental doctor as a particular system, so he is going to give the proper scheduling times for different patients. So that is scheduled times. Now, when at a random times, the inter arrival times are usually characterized by probability distribution. So this we have done in the previous, distribution topic. So now the number of customers may arrive at one at a time or in batches. So if you take certain, newspaper printing machines, so their arrival of the various newspapers is in bulk. Okay, and at one time. So if you go to a particular bank, and service will be provided by one. So that is where the customers may arrive one at a time or batches. So that depends on the what type of system you have. The match may be constant size or a random size. So this is what quite obvious. Now, so this is what I was talking about. Assuming that no, a particular person X, or assume you only go to a particular bank and you feel that there are three different lines, and depending on the size or length of a queue, so you are going to join a particular queue. Now in that case, what you will do? So if a particular line is another waiting queue or waiting line is moving fast than the line where you are standing, so what you will do? The behavior of that particular at that particular point of time is something called as a queue behavior. So first case is you want to leave that particular system if it is too long, and you go away from the system. That is first point. Another point is like you can jump from a particular queue which is moving very slowly to another one which is moving fast. Second one. Other third point is you don't either leave the system, or you don't jump to another system, but you will stay in the line where you are standing till you complete your work. So this is what a normal behavior of a particular person. So in the same way, queue behavior refers to the actions of a customers while in a queue waiting for a service to begin. So this is what I was talking about. First one is back. So one point I told that leave when they see that the line is too long. So when you find, or when somebody finds that line is too big, too long, then he is going to leave the system. Second one is range. So where leave after being in the line when they see that line is moving too slowly. So if your line is moving very slowly. Very next step is that you are going to jump to another line. So another one is um, moving to slowly. Okay. Third, next one is jockey. So it is move from one line to another if they think that they have chosen a slow line. So that is, you are going to jump from one line to another line. So these are all terms you need to remember: back, range, and jockey. Now, discipline. So I was given so many number of examples giving discipline. So which basically refers to the logical ordering of customers in a queue and determines which customer will be chosen for service when the service becomes free. So that is where we were talking about single channel queuing system, double channel queuing system, then how the whether the system is going to provide a kind of a service which is based on the first come first serve, or whether last come first serve, or whether it is a priority based or not. We will see one by one. So queuing discipline refers to the rule that the server uses to choose the next customer from the queue when the server completes the service of the current customer. So usually the queuing discipline is decided by the service provider. When the current server customer is served, then how to choose very next particular customer. So as I was talking about, first in first out, last in first out, service in random order, shortest path first, or shortest processing time first, service according to the priority. Okay, first come first serve examples. So, okay, we have seen all these examples. So this is about the queuing discipline. Then I was talking about the service times and service mechanisms. So we had a discussion like what is service time? The amount of time taken to serve a particular customer is service time. So a queuing system consists of number of servers working in parallel. That is, upon getting the to the head of the line, a customer takes the first available server. So as I told, assuming that a particular bank is having only one customer, that is a single channel queuing system. When you go to a bank, there hotel, there will be many number of servers. So if the parallel service mechanisms are either single server when c is equal to 1, or multiple servers, so which is greater than less than or equal to infinity, or unlimited servers. Possibly most of the examples will not have unlimited servers. Either it can be a single server, or multiple servers. The service facility is usually as having an unlimited number of servers. That is what I was talking about. Self-service facility. When you go to a bank, or when you go to a hotel, there is something called as a self-service facility, where it will have whatever they want, they will take, and they will complete their job and they will go. So these are all kind of unlimited number of servers. That is something called as a self-service. Okay, now we are going to discuss how we are going to represent a particular um, system. So if you look at, we are going to have different types of queuing systems. Maybe single channel queuing system, maybe multiple queuing system. Um, Depending on the diversity of this particular systems, Kindle in 1953 proposed a notational system for parallel server systems which can be widely adopted. So it is capital A bar B bar small c bar en bar k. So this is what the queuing notation is all about. So where A represents inter-arrival time distribution, B represents service time representation, small c represents number of parallel servers. Okay, n represents whether system capacity is finite or infinite, or limited or unlimited. capital K represents size of calling population. So this is what usually these common symbols for A and B are which capital M, capital D. Okay, so where capital M represents exponential data distribution and D for is constant and deterministic. Okay, you'll better understand when you look at the particular problem. If you look at my queuing model is something like this: M bar 1 bar infinity infinity. So if you look at A is M, B is M, C is equal to 1, and N and K values are infinity infinity. So with this I can say that it is a single channel or single server system. Okay, okay. So now this is what it is: system capacity and calling population. So which in here a single server system that has unlimited queuing capacity and infinite population of potential arrivals. So infinite is input is infinite, calling population is infinite, system capacity is also infinite, but number of servers is only one. So inter-arrival time and service times are exponentially distributed. Both are exponentially distributed. So now when n and k are infinite, they may be dropped from the notation. So here I can write m bar m1 bar infinity infinity. I can write it as m bar 1. It indicates that the system capacity and the calling population are infinite. Now, I have taken one tire example in the previous cases where 5 number of uh, tires. Okay, so that is where the here is system capacity is 5, and the number of machines are also number of tires coming is also 5, and there is only one machine. Okay, in general, I can write it G bar only one bar, G bar 1 bar 5 5. So this is what I was talking about, the general way to represent a particular table. So usually when you look at all these machines or models, whatever the queuing models we are considering all are, you know, first come, first serve methods. So before we go ahead with the how to perform the long run measures, so there are few important points or important, the queuing notations which can be used for parallel server systems. So one PN indicates steady state probability of having n number of customers in the system. At that particular point of time, the probability of n customers in a system at particular point of time t, Pn of t. Lambda is arrival rate. Lambda 2 is effective arrival rate. Mu is service rate. Rho is server utilization. This is what I was talking about. AN, inter-arrival time between the different customers, n minus 1 to n. Okay, and Sn is the service time of nth customer. Okay, so you have time. Then Wn, the total time spent in the system by nth customer. Okay, that is Wn. So Wn to the power q, that is total time spent in the customer in the waiting line. Okay, that is what here is. L of t is the number of customers in a system at point of time t. Okay, so how many number of customers? The customers who are getting service and the customers who are in the waiting line. Now LQ of t is the number of customers who are waiting in the queue. So now probably you might have seen uh, in ES bar TA algorithm how we are going to represent the system. So we have a WQ of t, we have a WS of t, we have LQ of t, we have LS of t. So L is long run time average number of customers in the system. Long run time average number of customers in the queue is LQ. The long run average time spent in the customer in the system per customer is W, and another one is this long run average time spent in a queue per customer. So this is how we are going to have different characteristics which talks about, or different ways to represent the different components of different processes which involved in queuing model. Okay, one last topic, which is long run measures of performance of queuing system. So usually the system usually refers to the waiting line plus service mechanism. So that is what your service, waiting, and arrival also. So in general, it can refer to any subsystem of the queuing system, whereas term queue refers to the waiting line alone. Okay. So now other measures of this particular performance in interest include long run proportion of the customers who are delayed in queue longer than the time units, usually a long time. So who are waited for a longer period of a time. Then the long run proportion of customers turned away because capacity constraints. Okay. The long run proportion to the time the waiting line contains more than k naught customers. So this is how the um, is all about. So we will be discussing more in detail in next class.